moment to hear from our sponsor. Did you know that traditional bed sheets can harbor more bacteria than a toilet seat? It can lead to acne, allergies, stuffy noses, and it's just gross. Miracle Made offers a whole line of self-cleaning, eco-friendly bedding such as sheets, pillowcases, and comforters that prevent 99% of bacteria and require 3 times less laundry. Their self-cooling properties using silver-infused fabrics inspired by NASA. um, Miracle Made sheets are the thermoregulating and designed to keep you at the perfect temperature all night long so you get better sleep every night. Miracle sheets are luxuriously comfortable without the high price tag of other luxury brands and feel just as nice, if not nicer, than bed sheets used by some 5-star hotels. So upgrade your sleep with Miracle Made. Go to trymiracle.com/ATI and use the code ATI to claim your 3-piece towel set and save over 40% off your order. That's trymiracle.com/ATI to treat yourself. And thank you, Miracle Made, for sponsoring this episode. Honestly, the 3 towels that come with the sheets is an amazing ad because I feel like everyone, like, you got to switch out your bed or your bath towels a lot because those just get gross.
Yeah. And I love the sheets. I've been sleeping on them
Yeah,
for 2
they're
nights, and I
great.
am a power sweater at
They're
night,
great.
and I've been good.
Yeah,
I've
they're
been pretty
awesome.
good.
I've been dying to try the towels. We've been trying the sheets, great. Now I'm like, I need to get some towels too.
I mean, I'm ready.
What's up, guys? Welcome back to After the Island. I'm Elizabeth.
I'm Alex.
And we have Mike with us today.
What's going on, guys? How you doing?
Good.
How are you?
Doing pretty good.
How you feeling after the villa?
I'm honestly glad to be back in the US, but my sleeping schedule is absolutely destroyed now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I'm jet lagged crazy right now.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's a rough transition because it's like a full 24 hours.
Wait, show us your Fiji jersey you have on.
Fiji rugby, baby.
I love it.
We were saying earlier, the merch is phenomenal.
I
The
know.
Islanders were like rocking this merch this season. We're loving it.
I bought a few.
Oh, love it.
We love it. I like that one. It's very like classy. All right, so let's get into it. You walked into the villa as a bombshell with Imani, and you went on 2 dates that America voted you on, Destiny and KayKay. How were those dates? How did they go? We obviously saw that you connected with Destiny, but you also seemed to really connect with KayKay.
So it was honestly like pretty shocking to me to go on those dates because you get there, you're just kind of waiting, you have no clue who's gonna walk out. And I saw KayKay walk out, which I was like really happy about because I had wanted to talk to her. You know, she was definitely like on my radar. So you know, when I got up there and I saw KayKay on the first date, I was like really happy. And then the second date, you know, I saw Destiny out there, and I'm not gonna lie. Initially, when I got to the villa, Destiny was like not on my radar at all. I was like, you know, she seems like a handful. I'm gonna try to like steer clear. Um, and then I go on like the date with her, and like the energy is just all I remember. Like I don't even remember what we talked about. You know, obviously we talked about our family and like what we're interested in and all those sort of things. But I just remember like sitting across from her and like I was like, man, this girl's got amazing energy. Like she's so bubbly, she's laughing, she's smiling. It was such a good time. Like I definitely had fun on my date with KayKay as well, and we just connected about like a lot of similar stuff and like you know the way we were brought up. But like I remember like very specifically, my date with Destiny was just like it didn't matter like what we were talking about. I was just like, man, this girl's energy is fire.
I feel like even as a viewer, we could see the chemistry on that date as well. I was like, oh, he likes her. I was like, they like each other. This is, yeah. I feel like you could definitely see it on camera as well. And then what were things like once you got more settled back into the villa?
So you know, it was a long night. Into the villa a bit late. You know, everybody's kind of just you know showing me around, hanging out with the guys. And then after that, you know, it was kind of time to get to work next day. You know, just trying to pull everybody for chats, trying to get to know everybody. I talked to, you know, most of the girls, pretty much all of them. But like just the one that kind of stuck out to me initially was just Destiny. Like we just kind of hit it off like right away. And like, yeah, it was just weird because, you know, going in there, I didn't expect to, you know, hit it off with her. And then we did. So I was like, well, this kind of messes up my plans because, you know, I came in here and planned to do X, Y, and Z. And now, you know, she's kind of stuck in my head a little bit. So that was definitely very interesting.
So you had your full eyes on Destiny and like no one else. You weren't interested in anyone else until Casa.
I wouldn't say I wasn't interested. Like I was still chatting with KayKay. Like we were still getting to know each other. And I'm like a very like slow burn type of guy when it comes to like falling for somebody. So just because Destiny and I had such great like initial energy doesn't mean I was gonna like rule out everybody else, because I know sometimes like other connections can just take a bit longer to form. But yeah, definitely, I'd say Destiny had like a head start on the race to my heart. As soon as I walked in the villa.
I was curious because when we talked to Emily, she was saying that you guys like had beef. So I was like, did you guys like each other or what was the situation? Like we need your side of the
Yeah.
story.
So you know how when I walked into the villa and I said like I had like a top three in my head, or like I had an idea of like where I wanted to start. Emily was on that list. On that list. I still think she's absolutely gorgeous. When I walked in, like I'll just tell you guys now, my plan was to kind of start with KayKay, and then Hannah, and then Emily. And then like I was kind of making my rounds, and then I chatted with I didn't watch the show, so I don't know if they put this in, but I chatted with Emily, and I think our chat went pretty good. Like she's a pretty cool girl. She was like really into Harrison a bit. And like when I was chatting with all the other girls, even KayKay and Hannah, they definitely mentioned they were happy like with where they were at, but like every other word out of her mouth is like, "Oh yeah, Harrison's just so great. I'm getting to know Harrison." She's really cool. Like I think our conversation was good. Just hearing her mention like Harrison every few words, I was like, maybe we could just be friends. Like kind of friends on me. That's kind of the vibe I got. So I just kind of backed off, and like I kind of stopped talking to her after that, just because in the villa, like you guys have been there. The time, it just moves so weird. You don't know if you have an hour left. You don't know if you have 10 hours left to have chat. So you kind of want to focus your energy wisely. And I just felt like I wasn't really getting anywhere with her. I still was very attracted to her. And then somebody sent me a clip from her podcast, and she was saying that like we didn't get along, or like I was like a douchebag to her, which was news to me because we only had like a few conversations. But I made an Instagram story, and I basically called her out. I was like, "Yo, Emily, how you gonna go on a podcast and like say we got beef?" And I had no clue. And I tagged her in it, and she DM'd me. And she's like, "Yo, like, what do you mean you don't like me?" And I was like, "No, like, I don't have a problem with you. Like, I just, didn't talk to you too much because, I was trying to be wise with my time." But we were texting a bit. I think we pretty much squashed the beef. I think we're gonna hop on a phone call later today as well. So
Good.
yeah, so we're gonna officially squash it, and
We
then
love to see that.
yeah, we both live in Houston, so I think we're gonna try to meet up if we can, if our schedule allows.
Fun.
Maybe maybe I'll bring her on my YouTube channel or my Instagram channel, and like we'll answer some questions together. For once and for all, the Emily beef will be squashed. The beef I didn't even know existed. But
We totally use that as clickbait. Like,
yeah, no, it definitely was a thing, because I had people sending me clips from the podcast, like, "Yo, Emily has it out for you." I'm like, "Since when?"
I want to get to Casa because I can't remember. Did you get to couple up with Destiny before Casa? Or no?
Oh,
No, right?
so when I got to the villa, I can't remember exactly how many days it was, but I was still trying to get to know everybody. And then like my last like day or two before Casa, pretty much Destiny and I were just like, I wouldn't say like attached at the hip, but like we were just with each other everywhere, like kind of around the villa. So everybody in the villa got the vibe that like I was feeling her and she was feeling me. So I'd say like most of the other girls kind of eased up a bit, and for pretty much like a day or two straight, Destiny and I were getting to just know each other like with no distractions. And then I'm looking forward to seeing her. Like we go upstairs trying to find like the girls, and like they're just missing.
The way they did that was hilarious.
Man, like we were thrown like for a massive loop.
So going into Casa, then were you so like, I don't think I'm gonna meet anyone, like I'm interested in still getting to know Destiny more, or were you like feeling very open, like before it even like started, like before the girls came in or you even saw anybody in your mind, were you like, I'm excited to go back to Destiny still, or even in that moment were you kind of like, I'm excited to explore other options?
No, I definitely was excited to explore every option, because I'm like a very scientific type of guy, So I figured, if I run the numbers, if I talk to more girls, the more girls, the better. And if like the connection with Destiny is the strongest, and I've talked to, plenty of other girls, and I know without a shadow of a doubt that she was the one for me. So I went into Casa with like an extremely open mind. I was like, I'm gonna get to know all these girls. I'm gonna give them a fair shot. The same way Destiny gave me a fair shot when I came into the villa. It's kind of how I plan to treat the girls of Casa Amor. And I feel like for the most part, it was a pretty fair shot. Like, obviously Hannah and I kind of hit it off, but as far as Destiny, like she was always in the back of my mind, like a bit, like while going through the process. But at the same time, like I was single. I had only been getting to know Destiny for a couple of days, so no harm, no foul. And if she brought somebody back, like my plan was still to get to know her as well. Like it wouldn't make a difference. It wouldn't change the way I felt about her at all.
Yeah, you really got thrown into Casa like pretty quickly. That
Yeah,
that
that
is
was
rough.
fast. Like you didn't even recouple with anyone or anything.
Yeah.
For me, what I was so confused about, and I'm sure you want to like speak on this as well, is you get to Casa, it looks like you spend all of your time with Dasja, and then right at the very end, you decide to share a bed with Hannah O. It becomes intimate, and then you bring Hannah O back to the villa.
Yeah, so I actually haven't watched the episodes, so I have no clue like what's in there. Off rip, Dasja, like she's absolutely gorgeous. So when all the girls came in the villa, she's like without a doubt the one who caught my eye. So I was like right away, like I want to get to know her. And apparently I'm the one who caught her eye as well. So we just kind of hit it off, like just because we were both like so physically attracted to each other. So we started, chatting, and then our conversation just went so well that like I didn't mind really getting to know any of the other girls, but at the same time I figured I'd go in a Casa with a open mind. So for the first day, it was pretty much all Dasja. Yeah, you guys are right. And then like on my second day, that's when I started chatting other girls. I started talking to everybody else in the villa. And I can't remember which day of Casa Amor Hannah came in. I think it was day 2, if I remember correctly.
That sounds right, but I like it seems like it was a lot longer than that, but I think you're right. It was probably
Yeah.
day 2.
And I was obviously still, kind of going strong with Dasja. Our connection was good. It was genuine. The only issue that Dasja and I ran into is on day 2 when I started pulling all the other girls for chats. She kind of retracted like into herself a bit, and like she wasn't very comfortable with me like exploring other connections. And I could visibly see that I was like it was making her like not happy to kind of see me like chat with other girls. And I can see why she felt that way, because we did hit it off and like we did have a strong connection. But that kind of caused like a huge issue in my eyes, because the whole point of Casa Amor was for me to explore connections. One, I went into the villa like with the extremely open mindset. I want to talk to every girl. I want to test the vibes out, test the waters. So to kind of like see her being taken aback by that, it wasn't a good sign for me. Like to maybe like figure this is somebody who I want to be with long term, or couple up with, especially because I still had all these like feelings for Destiny that I didn't have any closure. Destiny and I were going great, and then it just was kind of cost some more. So that really was a massive roadblock in my plans. So to kind of see Dasja not be too happy about me chatting with other girls, I just knew immediately like it probably wasn't the best fit, because I knew how like strongly I felt for Destiny. It just didn't make sense for me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Mike, I almost started laughing in the middle of you saying that, because I remembered then we see Hannah O come in, and I think you say, I don't know if you've watched it back, you're like, oh my God, his ex came in here. I'd fold so fast for my ex. And I was like, oh my gosh. Was that just kind of like impulse speaking? I'm like, was there
He's like, I don't remember saying that.
It was so funny. Mike and all the guys, like, did he just say that?
Yeah,
They were like, and I was like, I'm wondering if maybe that was your first like initial attraction to Hannah, and maybe it came out that way,
Oh,
but
your
I don't know.
reaction when you saw her, you were like,
You were like, I'd fold so fast for my
no, yeah, the girl I'm talking about, like
yeah.
we really didn't even date. We had like a year-long situationship, and like we were hot one minute, cold the next. But like the spark was just, it was so crazy, like
Yeah.
get out of my head. But I said it as a joke, like
Yeah.
obviously,
yeah.
if I wanted to get back with her, like I'm sure I could. But it's one of those things, like I'm just a silly guy, just kind of say whatever pops into my head, and that
It was
definitely
so funny.
popped into my head. And I was also kind of in a way like trolling Marco.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, your ex is here. Like if my ex was here, like I'd fold. Like it's kind of funny because it puts a bit of pressure on Marco, which I think is hilarious. But yeah, I do remember saying that. I haven't watched the episode, so I am gonna have to go back and check that one out. But
It's funny.
Yeah, no, it's hilarious.
yeah, it definitely was funny to see her walk in. And it's weird because initially, like when she walked in, I was like, oh, she's cute, but like I didn't really plan on getting to know Hannah at all, actually.
Okay, so what sparked you getting to know her? Was it the
When I saw Hannah walk in, like I was attracted to her, but like I didn't really have the urge to get to know her, especially because things were going pretty, pretty good with Dasja at the time. So, I definitely kind of brought up to Dasja that I felt like, her wanting to close off so soon wasn't the best thing for us. But that's just how she felt, and I can't change her feelings, obviously. So after we had that talk, that's when I kind of figured I'd get to know all the other girls. And like when I was getting to know the other girls, like I said, Hannah really wasn't on my radar initially. And then, I I was very surprised when I chatted with her. I think she pulled me for a chat. I don't know how many, I don't know how many of our conversations they showed in the episodes because I just have not watched them yet. Um, but we chatted multiple times. I've got a few messages and everybody's like, yo, why'd you go from Dasja to Hannah? Oh, all abruptly, all of a sudden. And I'm like, we chatted a good bit.
it seems like you went like that and it
Uh-huh.
like just out of nowhere.
You shared a bed and suddenly wanted to make a different choice.
Yeah, that's what we understood as viewers. So
Yeah.
we were like, where is the disconnect here?
Yeah, well, I mean, you guys are pretty much aware of the disconnect now. Like, just Dasja wanted to close off so quickly, and I did have strong feelings for Destiny, so it just wasn't the best fit for me. And then that's when I kind of figured I'd get to know the other girls. And yeah, I kind of started with Ashley. Ashley and I had a bit of a spark. I have no clue if they showed that.
None.
They didn't.
Yeah, Najah and I chatted for a bit, but she was kind of already feeling Keenan by that time. Who else did I chat with pretty seriously? I think, that was pretty much it. Just outside it. Oh, you know what it was? I wanted to chat with Johnny, but like I just never got around to it because she was kind of with Leo doing her thing. So
Leo got on that quick.
Yeah.
yeah, no, Leo definitely got on that quick. And I don't even know if they showed this in the in the villa, but the night of like Casa Amor, like we figured the girls were gonna come in same night. So all the boys were like, yo, like what's gonna happen? And like I do interviews like on my social media, like public interviews. So I literally pulled out my Google Pixel and I'm interviewing all the guys. And I'm like, yo, what are you gonna do? And Marco's like, ah man, like nothing, bro. I'm staying with my girl. I go to Leo, I'm like, Leo, what are you gonna do, bro? And he's like, man, I'm not folding for these girls, bro. I'm not doing that, girl. And we Leo back like after Casa Amor ended, and all the guys just started dying laughing because things went so horribly wrong.
It's so funny.
Oh, like Casa Amor just blew everything up.
I know. It was,
Literally.
as viewers, like the craziest casa to watch. Like so many people brought people back or like really explored that we like didn't think would at both villas. It was crazy.
It was honestly wild. Like when I tell you this, like everything that happened in Casa Amor was just like shocking to even us inside the villa. It literally was just no way you could predict what was gonna happen.
I was wondering when you kind of like made your decision to bring Hannah back to the villa, did you because I feel like during movie night we saw that there was kind of a misunderstanding that Destiny was saying, or I guess I don't know. My question more is, did you tell Hannah about your feelings about Destiny before you brought her back to the villa?
Yes. So like I said, I haven't watched the episode, so I have no clue what's in there. But after movie night, I was kind of chatting with some of the girls, and they were like, yeah, like, Mike, like we don't have anything like wrong with what you did with Hannah because at the time you were single, whatever. And I was like, cool. But I was like, they kept bringing up the question, like, why didn't you tell Hannah how you felt about Destiny? Like, why didn't you tell Hannah? And I was like, I did tell Hannah everything about Destiny. Like, and there was even a time during movie night where I was like, hey, Hannah, like, tell everybody right now how I feel about Destiny. And she was,
Yeah,
she told him. So I don't know if that was in there,
Yeah, it
that
was.
was.
but she told him. And kind of where I was at with Destiny is I was like, hey, you're exploring your connection with Zay. I'm exploring my connection with Hannah. But are you still open to getting to know me? Because I'm still very open to getting to know you. And like at the end of the day, if the best connection for you is Zay, go with Zay, be happy. If it's me, go with me, be happy. Don't worry about anybody else's feelings but your own. And she was kind of like, you say that like it's easy, but it's not easy to like, think about yourself. And like now she's in a tough spot because she brought somebody back and now she has to worry about them. And I'm like, be selfish. Like you're here for yourself. You're here for your connection. And And like obviously Zay's a handsome guy. He could find somebody else if he wanted to. Obviously, I'm not saying like Zay should give up, but if he felt like the connection was somewhere else, like take that chance, because in the villa, you're literally there for yourself. You're not there for anybody else's feelings but your own. So if the connection with somebody is so undeniable, I don't think you should, be worried about, I brought somebody back, now I have to think about them. It's like, no, you don't. You were exploring connections, you explored it, it didn't work out. It just makes it even all that more clear. Like, that's just not where you need to be. So
Yeah, we saw that internal battle with Zay a little bit. You'll see it when you go back and watch. But my question for you, though, is as a viewer, when I was watching movie night, when it got heated between you, Hannah, Destiny, afterwards, was that whole kind of heated conversation a pinnacle point and maybe you and Destiny not moving forward? Like, it seems like you guys didn't really pursue things post movie night. Like, it seemed like you were gonna kind of, like, in my mind, I'm like, oh, maybe he's gonna go back to Destiny. Maybe they realized they missed each other. Like, they shouldn't have brought people back, whatever. And then the movie night happened, and I see this like little debacle, and I'm like, oh shit, I don't know if they're gonna go back now after that.
that's a good question. Honestly, after the movie night, Destiny learned what she learned. I learned, like, obviously that she did have a bit of feelings for me, because if she didn't, she really wouldn't have cared what I was doing. So, in my head, I was like, that doesn't tell me to not go after Destiny. It just tells me that she does have feelings for me. So I pulled her for a conversation after movie night, and we chatted for a bit. And basically, the conclusion I came to was that she's worried about somebody else's feelings. She kept bringing up like, "Oh, I already brought Zay back. Like, what am I supposed to do about Zay?" And I was like, "I don't know. He's a big boy. Like, he can, fend for himself. Like, are you interested in me or not?" And then there was also a time in the movie night where she basically said that she was done with me in front of everybody. And I asked her about that. I was like, "Did you mean that when you said that?" And then she just told me like, "I don't know. I need to think." And as you know, in the villa, you don't have much time to think.
Yeah.
Could be, chilling in the pool with the guys, and the next day there could be a recoupling or a dumping. So you kind of want to just chat and kind of get all your cards on the table and just let things fall where they may. So I basically told her I wasn't going to wait around for her anymore. Like, I told her how I felt. She was just like, "I just need to think. I need to think." And I was like, "Well, you can think till the day you die, but we got to make a move." So I kind of left the ball in her court, and things just ended up like going in a different direction. Like, obviously,
Yeah.
things happened, and we just didn't have much time to chat. But she was thinking for a little while, so I just left it to her.
I really thought that you guys were gonna couple back up. I was shocked.
I may have thought that for a while too, but life happened.
Yeah, you could just pick up on the vibes, even though like we didn't see a lot of those conversations, but like
Yeah.
we were like, oh, they like each other. They
Yeah.
like each other a lot.
The chemistry felt like it was there. I think also, I feel like a part of your journey that we were so curious to know about was then you going home, and was it America that voted? Yeah,
Yeah, it was America that voted.
America that voted. So you
Yeah.
go home, and there was, the moment with Sarah. Can you walk us through what happened there?
Yeah, yeah. So, like I said, I haven't watched the episodes. I really haven't seen it. I've seen like a small clip of it on Instagram. Yeah, so I don't know like what was shown. I don't know what order the events were shown in. But essentially, Keenan gets the boot. He's about to head home. No big deal. It happens, right? It's a TV show. It doesn't last forever. And then KayKay just volunteered. Like, she's like, "Hey, my connection with him is true. It's strong. If he's going, I'm going," type of deal. And then obviously everybody had their own opinions about it. Some voiced theirs more so than others. Some like they didn't voice it, but you could just see like the look on their faces, like, yeah, Cake is gonna leave. Like, I don't think it is a surprising thing for any of us to see KK go home with Keenan, just because I don't know how much they showed on camera, but their connection is like truly strong, and it's been battle tested. And in the villa, that's kind of what you're there for, to test the connection. So after the connection is the strongest one, if your partner leaves, it's like, well, my time here is done too, I guess. And that's just the route she took, which I feel like is the best choice for her, because that's where her heart is at. And at the end of the day, like I said, you're there for a selfish reason. You're there for yourself. So she found her connection. It's time to go. If he's going, she's going, which is, it's fine. And then the whole thing with Sarah Hyland, it just went down because, she asked the question a couple times. Like, hey, like, are you sure this is the right move? Like, are you sure you want to do this? Like with Keenan, after everything you've been through, after everything that's happened. And then it was just one of the times she said it. I just really didn't like the way she said it. It wasn't what she said. Obviously, her job
Mhm.
was to ask questions, but it just kind of like rubbed me like the wrong way a bit. And everybody thought that I was like jumping in to defend Keenan, and I wasn't. I really was just kind of jumping in to say my piece for KayKay because she's a grown woman. She made her choice, and I just would have appreciated if we could have respected her choice a bit more. I don't know how many times they put Sarah Hyland asking the question in, and she put it. She asked it a few times. She worded the question a few different ways, but it was just one of the times she said the question. I just really didn't like the tone and the phrasing of the question. It just came off like a bit disrespectful. Um,
Mhm.
so I said that, you know. And I watched the clip. I don't even think that the clip that I responded to was in the TV show. It was a different clip. So you know that happened. Everybody's in my DMs. They're down my throat. I don't really care. Like you know, I said what I said, and after I even did apologize to Sarah Hyland. But in the moment, like I just had to do what was right for me, and to you know, KK's my friend. So if I feel like somebody's kind of stepping on my friend a bit or disrespecting my friend, like or questioning their choice to the point of disrespect, like you know, I feel like it's 2023. This is a very free world, and I love that. You know, uh, like the best thing about being born at the time that I was born is you can do what you want, you can say what you want. America's becoming more and more free every day, right? Like you see the news, like people are just you know liberated, like spiritually, they're liberated. You know, freedom of speech, liberated sexually, and as far as like the gender fluidity stuff, I feel like people can really just do what they want to do. So if she just wants to make a choice to leave with her partner, I feel like we should just respect it. Um, but the question was asked, you know, repeatedly to the point where I felt like, okay, we're kind of dragging it a bit. That's when I felt like it became disrespectful. It wasn't just the initial question itself, or you know, it wasn't what was said. It was more so how it was said. That's why I didn't say, you know, Sarah Hyland, you're disrespectful. I just said, you know, that sounded a bit disrespectful. I think I said that sounded mad disrespectful uh,
Mhm.
because it did. Just one of the ways she phrased the question and the toning of her voice, it did sound mad disrespectful. So, uh, you know, I don't have any like I don't have any regret for saying what I said when I said it. Um, I'm not sure how accurately things are portrayed in the TV show. Like I said, I haven't watched it. I just kind of seen a small clip from like the Love Island Instagram page. I think it was Love Island Instagram page. That's not exactly how events went down, but you know, stories are meant to be told, right? So there's always two sides to every story. And after I did even apologize to Sarah Hyland, but KK's my friend, and I believe at the end of the day, like if you see your friend going through something, you know, it's your job to kind of like say, hey, like if I don't think this is right, let me voice that. I had no clue who Sarah Hyland was actually. I didn't know if she was an Islander. I didn't know if she was like a special guest.
What?
Yeah, so like I don't really watch much TV. All the TV I watch is pretty much animated. I watch a lot of anime. Apparently she's like a famous like actress who does like a TV show called Modern Family, and she does like a lot of Hallmark movies. I heard. Um, I never heard of Modern Family, never watched it, and I don't watch Hallmark movies. I watched like a couple with my grandma, but like I just literally didn't know who she was. Like I could walk past her going down the street, and like I wouldn't have known the difference. I didn't know if she had 10 million followers on Instagram or 10. So like I'm the type of person, even if I did know, it wouldn't have made a difference. If I think something's kind of fishy, like I'll call it out. Um, and like the biggest thing that I noticed when I got back home was it seemed a lot of people didn't really mind what I said. They just mind who I said it to.
Oh, interesting.
They're like, "Do you know who you're talking to? You know who you're speaking to? You should be honored to be in the same room as her. You can't disrespect our queen, Sarah Hyland." And I'm like, all women are queens, first of all. Second of all, like I don't know who she is. Like, sorry, she doesn't know who I am. I'm not offended by that. We're just like in different niches. Like, you know, I'm like very much so like in the gym community. I watch a lot of anime. I like to eat ramen with my friends and sushi, all that weird stuff. I don't think that's her vibe. So like the people I
Yeah.
think are really cool, she probably has no idea. And like obviously a lot of people think she's really cool because she's a cool woman. She's a beautiful woman. But like I just at the time
Yeah.
know who I was talking to. But even if I did, I wouldn't have changed a thing that I did or said. So
Yeah. I think some of the backlash probably came too from the fact that she's like the host, so it's her job to like ask the questions and multiple times to make sure, it's gonna be like cut right for TV or, you know, whatnot. So I think the backlash came from like she was just asking because it's in her script
Yeah.
and her job to ask.
Yeah, definitely.
But
And I feel like that is her job description, to ask the questions, to get like a beat on the Islanders, kind of see what we're thinking, what we're feeling. And certain choices, they do want some clarity on why we made the choice, which I 100% respect. But like I said, it wasn't what she asked. It just was like how she asked it. And she did ask it a few times. I think she just asked it like one time too many. And from what I've seen, the clip that they put in the TV show, it was not the clip that I reacted to. It wasn't the same wording. It wasn't the same tone of voice. It was just different. And I'm okay with that. Like I don't mind going down as like the bad guy or the villain, because this is a trending story now. In a week from now, in a month from now, it'll be something different. Like it's
Yeah,
okay.
yeah. You can't harp on it or dwell on
Yeah,
it.
yeah, exactly. And I already made amends with Sarah Hyland. Uh, I also recorded an interview, like at the villa, and even at the end of my interview, I kind of said like, "Yo, Sarah Hyland, like, I publicly shouted out like, hey, sorry for everything that went down, but I know it's your job, but just KK is my friend, so as her friend, it's my job to step in if I feel something's going on." Um, so yeah, like Sarah Hyland and I, like, there's no bad blood there. It's just everybody else who doesn't know that I apologize, or they want me to apologize publicly. Yeah, like they might not be happy with me, but if Sarah's cool with me now, there's no bad blood there. I don't feel the need to like publicly go out and say, I made a mess up publicly. Let me make a like amends publicly, because it was really an incident between Sarah Hyland, myself, KK, and Keenan. So everybody like, in the parties is informed of like where we stand now. As far as the internet wanting me to, do more or show more, like be more regretful about what happened, like that's just not me. I'm always gonna speak my mind. I'm always gonna say what I feel. I'm always gonna do what I want. That's why I love America, because First Amendment, you really have the freedom to just uh, voice like how you feel. And I know like in the past, my ancestors didn't have that right to speak on how they felt. Like there was
mhm.
not too long ago in this country where my colored skin like wasn't even allowed to go in certain restaurants, and now I can say how I feel, and even on national television. Like I think it's really cool. Uh, I think like I couldn't have been born at a better time in the world. So I'm just grateful to even have the privileges and the rights that I have. So I'm gonna take every opportunity to use them. Even including the First Amendment.
Like the apology, everything, like
You
it's
guys
between
squashed
you
it. It
guys. Like
moves. It moves
it's not
forward.
between the
Yeah,
public
and
and
and life goes on.
yes.
There's no need for like crazy hate or anything on the
No.
internet. Like people
Yeah,
get really carried away.
yeah. You saw my DMs right now. You think otherwise? They're
I
going.
I believe it. I believe it. I mean, people are diehard fans of this show. People love Love Island, and everything
They
that
have
comes with that.
opinions.
They have their opinions. But I do want to end this on like a super positive note. I want to know what it was like, walking out with Hannah O. Have you guys talked? Are you still in contact? Are you pursuing anything romantically still? Like, kind of update us where you're at.
Yeah, so Hannah O and I, honestly, like we had our own little issues in the villa. Like we had a lot of stuff to work through internally, but it was just so fun. Like my connection with her was so genuine, and everybody's asking like, did they make you pick Hannah O? I guess now I know why, because they may not have shown all of our moments in the villa, but we definitely had like a really good chemistry together. Like we got along super well. She's super fun, and I have like two sides of my personality, right? Like one side's more like a calm, cool, collected, and one side's more like a wild, crazy guy. I feel like she brings out like my wild side a lot more. So I definitely like hanging out with her. And after the show ended, we did hang out in Fiji. Like we got dinner, we went shopping,
Oh, cute.
Oh,
we
Fun.
explored Fiji together. It was a good time. It was really fun. Like we still have been exploring that connection. I wouldn't say it's anything super serious. Like we're still getting to know each other, right? If I think about it, a month ago I didn't even know who the girl was, but like now we've been through what we've been through. We've shared the stage. Like it definitely bonded us up like very fast.
Totally. Yeah.
So 100% we're still exploring that connection. I'm very happy about it. I am like excited to see if something could form from that. But in the meantime, like we do have our own lives. We do have we live in different states, so like we're exploring the connection. Like we still FaceTime, we text all the time, but it is a bit different now that I'm not living in the same villa with her.
mhm.
So we're being real about it. we're just taking it one day at a time, and like whatever happens, happens. If we just decide to become friends and stay friends, like we're okay with that. If we decide to, pursue the connection further romantically and become, a lot more than just friends, like maybe, become something serious, we're okay with that as well. But, in the meantime, like we're just gonna enjoy life. Like we're in our 20s. So
Yeah.
we're kind of taking each day as it comes.
Okay, if Destiny came out single, would you slide into her DMs romantically?
I don't know if I can say this right now, but I'll say it. I'll say it.
Say it.
Pretty much was leaving the villa when I left, and like I don't think anybody expected me to leave the villa when I left. Um, so Destiny was basically saying like, she's like, yo, like first thing you do when you get out of here is you send me a DM on Instagram, and I was like, sure, why not? But I'm not gonna lie, I haven't got around to sending that DM yet. I do think we're all gonna hang out. Once the show's wrapped up, like we're all gonna take a trip and we're all just gonna hang out. Kind of like no pressure, cameras off type of vibe. So we'll see what happens when we hang out. I definitely wouldn't say like Destiny and Mike are like off the table completely, because like I said, our connection was very strong and it was very genuine.
Mm.
Um, but in the meantime, like I'm just gonna, you know, take life one day at a time, and just, I'm just happy to be alive right now, man. So whatever happens, happens. But I'm here for it either way.
Amazing. Wait, love that for you. So exciting. So many good things ahead. And thank you so much for coming on here
Yeah.
today, clearing the air, speaking your truth. Love all of it. And for anyone watching this interview, we will link Mike's socials down below if you want to give him a follow. Check out his pages. I want them to release the tapes of the interviews of you guys post
Me
Casa.
too.
I
Me
hope
too.
if you get those back, you put them on your social. But yes, anyone watching, like this video, comment, subscribe to our channel, and leave any more comments or questions down below for Mike. Thank you guys.
Thank you.
Bye.
Peace.